this is from Elon. I'm just going to say, I'm making sure he's 220 million subscribers. A lot of fake Elon accounts out there. Elon is saying this about the big, beautiful bill. I am quoting to you now from the founder of Doge himself and the owner of the X platform, which is where I am reading this from. I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. Yikes. Elon continues. It will massively increase the already gigantic budget deficit to $2.5 trillion and burden American citizens with crushingly unsustainable debt. That's from Elon Musk, everybody. That's the Doge guy. So I think we know where he stands on the big, beautiful bill. And I think we also know that all along there was a time limit, yes, by custom and law, I think, for a temporary government employee. There was a time limit on what could be accomplished, what could be done here by Elon. But also, I had worried all along that somebody who has operated in a private sector where you have the ability to do the things you want to do would quickly become incredibly frustrated by a government sector where it is deeply entrenched that there is no accountability and that the system is perpetuated. That is the whole thing. The giant self-licking ice cream cone in D.C. That is the whole thing. It just keeps doing what it does. It doesn't need anything else. It just keeps pushing along. So Elon making it very clear that he thinks that this bill is not at all what it should be, that it does not take into account. And look, he doesn't care, right? He's no longer running Doge. He's back to his companies. He told us what was going on. He told us about the spending problems, and the spending problems are not getting better. We're still spending too much money, everybody. I sit here and does anyone want to hear it? Does anyone care? Are we going to do anything about this? And the truth is we're spending too much money, and we're spending too much money because we can't afford to pay for everybody's health care for the last 30 years of their life, more or less, even though I know we're told we pay into it. But if you won't touch entitlements, we're spending ourselves into oblivion. That's just the truth. That's just the math. And that's why it's unpopular. If we could fix the debt by cutting back on windmill spending or something, like Green New Deal scam, if we could fix the debt, not help it a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, if we could fix it, of course we would do that. The reason our Congress does not address the problem of our increasingly unsustainable, mathematically unsustainable debt is that we don't want it to. So I don't know how energized or exercised I can get about this, because I can tell you what the numbers are. You know, if I sat down, if we were doing a household budget and I sat down with you and I said, look, here's the problem. We have $1,000 a month that we can spend on food, and we're spending $2,000 a month on food. And all we have to do is we have to get rid of, we can't eat red meat anymore. We cut back on the red meat, we can actually hit our budget. And you say, well, no, we can't do that. I need my red meat. And you go, okay, but then we're spending too much money. So just understand that there's a push-pull here. There's no, if we don't reform entitlements, we don't change this. And that's just it. And I don't want to argue with anybody about it. That's just reality. That's math. And I know that people be told, or they've been told, oh, but I paid for this. You actually end up taking out the average person over 2 times what you pay into, for example, Medicare over the course of the program. So, you can't, and Trump won't touch Medicare, and no one's going to touch Social Security or Medicare. Medicaid is just this massive slush fund nationally that has very little accountability mechanisms in place. The big, beautiful bill actually tries to do some of that. But we're just going to keep spending too much money. It's tough for me. It's a little bit like the debt ceiling fight for me now. How Am I supposed to go through histrionics and tell you that this is going to become a bigger and bigger problem? It will become a problem that is so big that by the time everyone agrees it's a problem that must be fixed, it will be too late to fix the problem without tremendous pain, financially and as a society. But smoke them if you got them, because it's not changing. And, you know, for Elon to come out and say this, I wonder, is Trump or anyone going to have harsh words to say about Elon? I mean, Elon, he saw all the books. He knows. Elon knows that if the United States government was a company, the company is headed to bankruptcy. He knows that. And we know that. And this is what the numbers are telling us. And this is what Elon is telling us. But now we're told, oh, we will handle this, but not yet. There's a bit of a procrastination explanation here. We will tackle this national debt, but we will do it in the future at some other point. Guys, I told you, I've lost now, I'd say 40 pounds, really. I mean, when I got sick last week, it got down to like another 10 pounds because you don't want to lose weight that way. But I'm down at least 40 pounds. And you know what I end up, it's funny, I remember my guy, my online training coach, Dane Anderson. He's a great guy, and just he lives this stuff, and he's a really unique character and just lives fitness and health and everything. And I remember he kind of gave me my first meal plan, and there's a lot of like lean protein. Now I love protein, but like a lot of you, I'm sure, you know what kind of you know what kind of protein I like? Hamburger meat, ribeye, New York strip. Right? That's a bacon. That's the protein that I like. You know what lean protein is? 99% lean ground turkey. White fish. Things like that. You know, it's like, oh, that's not as exciting. But I remember he put on there, I had to eat ground. Now I eat ground turkey pretty much every day. I've really developed a taste for it. I season it. Is it as exciting as cutting into a delicious piece of short rib? Definitely not. But what I'm saying is, initially it was, well, I'll do this, but I don't really want to start eating, like, come on, 99% lean turkey, ground turkey. That sounds not fun. It's never going to be fun. But I had reached a point where I was like, okay, time to do it. The nation needs to go on a diet. And we don't want to do it. We don't want to eat ground turkey. We want bacon cheeseburgers. And I get it. But don't tell me that you want to eat bacon cheeseburgers every day and you want to lose weight. Don't tell me that you want to tackle the debt, but we can't touch entitlements. Like I said, I'm not going to fight with anybody over it because it's not worth it, because people feel so passionately about this. But that is the truth. That is the problem. We have set up a system that is financially unsustainable. And we've made promises to people that are based in things that are unfortunately mathematically not true, like you're paying in more than you're getting out. That's not true. It's a little bit like a Ponzi scheme. And this is where we are. And I don't think anybody wants to handle it, so it's not going to get handled. Elon's saying this. I think that the Trump economy is going to be booming, and it's going to be fantastic. I still believe that. I think there's stuff in this big, beautiful bill that is awesome, and I'm very excited about it. But we shouldn't kid ourselves. We're not tackling the problem of the debt. We are not dealing with the debt.